Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And you may have noticed that we have a slightly different layout. The border and transitions and new intro all came in thanks to a contractor through Fiverr. So he hooked us up. Hopefully, you like it. Leave a comment about what you think. And we also started filming the hands. So hopefully you guys can follow along and see some of the play lines better that we are seeing ourselves, or at least myself on Naya. In today's video, we have Rob on stiflenought. He changed it up a little bit since last time, and I am playing Naya depths. So pretty standard start here. Rob won the die roll. He started out with the volcanic and moved to my turn. Tried to play an Elvish Reclaimer. He hit it with a minor misstep. And then he pondered on his turn. And then I played a Wasteland. Tried to play a Sylvan Library. Walked it right into a Daze. Kind of expected in this matchup, unfortunately. The deck is just all counters, all removal, all the time, which is part of the reason why it's so strong. But moving to his turn, he just pondered again, dropped another land. Fortunately for us, we have a good curve and a backup Sylvan. So we try and stick this one out. He's going to respond with a fetch and hit it with a Spell Pierce. So nothing is stuck yet. 0 for 3, which is kind of tough to see. He's going to wasteland my Yavimaya after I wastelanded his Tundra. But one good thing about playing Naya is half the deck is pretty much lands. So we'll try and cheat out another Reclaimer, and it's met with another minor misstep. Just unbelievable. 0 for 4. Rob has counters for everything in this opener. But fortunately, the gas just kind of keeps coming. Our draws were pretty good, and we're going to be able to stick a knight right here. Rob goes into the tank a little bit, trying to decide what he wants to do. Usually you don't expect the knights to stick around very long, whether it be a prismatic ending or a plow. But it doesn't seem like he has it this time, so he's just going to wasteland my tapped Thespian stage, and it's going to give me a turn with the knight. So here, I'm just kind of weighing the options. Do we try and start going for Merit Lage? I do have the crop rotation and a plow in the hand, but knight is currently a 6/6, and there's like wide open, so I do have the crop rotation to protect it just in case. So I decided that pushing damage will probably be a little bit effective at the moment. Rob's going to brainstorm, and I think he's digging for answers to the knight at the moment. And he did. He found a Swords of Plowshares, but we are going to crop rotate away the Sajiri step that we had in play and go grab the second one to keep the knight alive. Unfortunately, we only run 2 Sajiri steps, so any kind of rotation for protection at this point is right out the window. But we drew into a Minskin Boo, which is very nice as long as we can find another mana. So I was kind of thinking, do I keep the knight up, try and rotate into like a red source? So a lot of my draws were live, or Yavimaya, or Flagstones, and try and ramp that last land to get there. But pushing damage at this point seemed really solid. Get him down to 7. I did have the plow in hand to deal with the Dreadnought that he cheated out, copying it with Microsynth Gardens, which is pretty cool tech. But here I decided to leave the knight back. That way I can start rotating and grab a red and hope to draw any mana producing land. That way I can just drop a Minsk and Boo, and we got there. Nope, just kidding. It's a Dark Depths. Super sad. A Yavimaya will get there though, so I'm going to float a green and then rotate it with Night. And go get any mana producing land at this point, but in order to play around like a Daze, I grab the Yavimaya, so that way the Depths can now tap for a mana. And there's the Minsk. Rob only has one in hand with 4 mana up, so I know it's not Force of Will. Could have been Force of Negation. I'm not sure if he's main decking those. Just something to think about and consider. But the Boo sticks around, so we tick him up, get in for 4, putting the pressure on Rob pretty quickly. Minsk and Boo is such a good card. It's unreal. It just single-handedly wins games, and that's the reason to play it. You have the 4-color check pile and Naya Depths. It's very, very strong fit. He does plow away the Night, kind of reducing our clock a little bit, but the draws this game were just unbelievable. So he ripped another Night right off the top. He is going to dress down, though, kind of stalling us up, and we were going back and forth just basically talking about how that works. The counters are already on it, stay on it, but the new counters won't go on it because it loses the haste and trample. So he's only going to take 4 on this swing, basically buying himself another turn, but that'll do it. He doesn't really have any answer to Minsk and Boo at this point. So Minsk and Boo taking it down. Hell of a card. We're going to move into some sideboarding. So I was doing some tweaks with it, and I upped my Red Elemental Blast, Pyro Blast count up to 4. I think that's the right number to be on. And there's so much blue in the meta right now, and it is a super strong answer to a lot of problematic cards. So I believe I bring all 4 of those in, and 2 Force of Vigors as well. It's not ideal, but it is free removal. You do at the cost of 2 cards, but you can deal with the Dreadnoughts pretty effectively that way. And I cut down on some of the swords that I was main decking. I think I dropped to 2. So I'll have 6 answers for a Murktide if we do encounter 1, and then the 2 Force of Vigors, and the 2 Plows also for Dreadnoughts. So plenty of removal for his creature suite in this matchup. Kept a decent opener here. Kind of slow start. Didn't want to rip it off for the Dryad Arbor. But we're going to just start right out with a Green Sun for 1, which will be met with a Spell Pierce, per usual. I kind of don't expect many of my first spells in this matchup to land, which is just part of the beast when you play colors that aren't blue. So this is some new tech that I've been trying out, and I'm not entirely sold on it yet. I haven't had enough reps with it to determine whether or not it is good or it is bad. It's Ren Realm Breaker. Got a whole slew of abilities, but it basically fixes all of your mana. You can tick it up, make a land, 3/3 Vigilance, Haste, Hexproof, and until end of turn. You can -2, mill 3, take a permanent from the milled cards, put it in your hand, and its ultimate is you can just basically play permanents and lands from your graveyard. Every ultimate on every Planeswalker is usually pretty busted, but I never really expect him to get to 7. And every time I have played with it, it's just been met with a counterspell. So best case scenario so far that I've seen for him is, just getting forced and getting the old 2 for 1. I will continue to do play testing with it though, see if it can make the 75. It kind of feels like I'm more of a sideboard slot card at the moment, even though the sideboard is already super tight, and I don't know if it takes the place of anything else, unfortunately, but we're trying to make it work, so I will let you know. Rob just digging away, trying to find some threats. Maybe his hand's just all interaction. I'm not entirely sure what he was at this game, but looks like we're just going to do the whole Wasteland battle again and see where that takes us. Something of note, Rob does side in Terminuses in this matchup. So Sylvan Safekeeper is an absolutely fantastic card in this deck to stop opponents' removal. It can walk you into some problems though, every now and then, where they just swords it, prismatic it, and they're getting 1 mana Stone Rains on you. So if you don't have enough mana to keep up with it, it can really set you back and actually cost you games if you're not careful about when you should and shouldn't be using it or saving it. In the position I'm in, though, I felt pretty comfortable with it. Plenty of mana to keep it alive and help protect future creatures. But it's going to get Terminus to the bottom, which is one of the ways that Rob's deck answers it, along with like Dress Down plus removal. Also very effective at getting it out of there. Being a little strapped on white mana here, we're just going to take the opportunity to pass the turn without wastelanding. That way we can use Thespian Stage to copy either his Tundra or his basic plains and his end step and roll right into our next turn, and that'll bring our knights online. So we're going to play a knight, and Rob's going to respond with a Dress Down, and hopefully it sticks around, and it does. I don't anticipate any of my creatures sticking around for very long when I'm tapped out and have no way to protect them. And he is enjoying his new career as a farmer. And with Dress Down, he only gained 2 life. So pretty cool. Definitely some of the weird interactions that happen with this matchup. He's going to try and play out the Dreadnought. I did have the plow for it, sending him all the way up to 30 life. So even like a Merit Lage at this point isn't lethal. But we'll slam out another knight and see how it goes. Before I played the knight, I did draw into Dryad Arbor, which is very, very sad, but a good pitch for Mox this late in the game especially. Help fix my mana. Now I have red, so I can cast the Red Elemental Blast. And per usual fashion, the knight does not stick around very long because Rob has a Terminus, and he's just going to wipe the board again. And I drew into a crop rotation here, but I think I'm just going to try and sit on it a little bit. And I can protect it, which is nice, but again, is it worth crop rotating for the Merit Lage unprotected and then losing half of my mana? So just some of the lines of thought that you have to weigh when going through the process. Drew into a green sun here, which is really nice, and I'm just going to go for 1. Going for a Reclaimer. Another kind of line you think about is, all right, should I grab the Safekeeper, then try and rotate in? And it's very possible, and looking back at this, probably could have taken the more aggressive line and done that, but I would have only had 2 lands to protect it, and it would have taken me 2 full turns to kill him with a Merit Lage. But that's kind of where the wheels fell off the bus a little bit for me, and I started making poor play errors. I should have taken the Safekeeper with that line. And here, I try and crop rotate away my Wasteland, floating 1, kind of dealing with an incoming daze or anything like that. Rob goes into the think tank a little bit, and he is going to hardcast a daze. So I'll pay for the 1 with the floating 1 for Wasteland, and this is kind of where the wheels fall off the bus for me. I paid 1 using my Thespian Stage, not thinking, and I still try and grab a Dark Depths, even though I have no way of activating it right now. So you basically just play right into his Wasteland. Like, I could have grabbed pretty much any other land, another stage, Yavimaya, really just anything. So it just three bad play patterns, and fortunately we don't get punished. Just drawing very very well today, and after a wasteland, I rip another depths right off the top, threatening the combo. And we have a little bit of protection in the hand. We have a Veil and Red Blast, so it should be able to answer some of the stuff that he's going to be trying to do to get rid of this thing. Granted, it doesn't stop swords or anything like that, but you just kind of got to go for it in this position. So on his end step, we are going to make the 20/20, and we do have one available just in case he tries anything crazy here. But again, this is kind of the weird spot where him being at more than 20 life makes the swing not lethal. So we have to go around again and hope to dodge some kind of removal. He's going to play out a Murktide as a blocker. But fortunately, we have the red remove it and the Veil to prevent a counter for it. And that's it. We kind of lock it in. Super happy with the way the deck ran. I mean, it's pretty easy to play Magic when you're drawing well, but never punished for making awful decisions. But that's why we test play, right? So you can look back at it and think about it, and oh yeah, no, okay, definitely could have done better here, better there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked the content. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about our new bling, and we'll see you next time.